My name is Robert Callahan, 58 years old, and for 22 years, I was the lead production engineer at Apex Manufacturing in Detroit, Michigan, a company building precision components for automotive suppliers. I'd spent decades fine-tuning assembly lines, training technicians, and ensuring every part met tolerances tighter than a hair's breadth. Our plant was the backbone of clients like Midland Autos, delivering gears and shafts that kept their production humming. That is until our new operations director, Tyler Brennan, 36, with a Wharton degree and a penchant for buzzwords, decided I was slowing down his robotic revolution. It was a frigid January morning when Tyler summoned me to his office, all polished steel and motivational posters. He tapped a tablet and said, "Robert, your insistence on manual checks is holding back our new robotic line. We're automating fully, and we need agile thinkers." He slid a termination notice across the desk. "We can get 2 coders for your salary. No hard feelings, just efficiency." I stared at the notice, my chest tightening. 22 years, countless overtime nights, innovations that saved millions, mentoring kids who became foremen, erased in a single sentence. "What about the line's output?" I asked, voice steady despite the anger rising. Tyler smirked. "The robots are hitting 95% efficiency in trials. We'll demo them for Midland in 10 days. You'll get 3 months severance. Fair, right?" Fair? I thought of my team. People like Jamal, who could spot a misaligned servo in seconds, or Linda, who'd caught defects robots missed. I thought of my son, Danny, saving for grad school, and my wife, Ellen, who'd stood by me through every plant shutdown. But I didn't argue. I nodded, signed the papers, and walked out, my steel-toed boots echoing in the hall. As I packed my locker, photos of Danny, a worn torque wrench, a thank you note from Midland's CEO, the team gathered, shell-shocked. "They're canning us for robots?" Jamal whispered. I nodded. "Check your emails." HR sent termination notices to half the senior staff. No one spoke. I left with a small box, the factory's hum fading behind me. In the snowy parking lot, my phone buzzed. A text from Linda. "Robots are glitching in tests. Tyler's hiding it." At home, Ellen set a mug of black coffee on the kitchen table as I stared out at our snow-covered yard. "What's the plan?" she asked. I shrugged. "Something'll turn up." But I wasn't calm. I'd seen the robot trials. The new line, supplied by Cybertech Systems, hit efficiency targets but failed stress tests. Parts were misaligned, tolerances off by microns, small enough to pass initial checks, but deadly in engines. I suspected the software was rigged to look good short-term, forcing Apex to buy upgrades later. If I was right, the Midland demo would be a disaster. I just needed proof. Apex Manufacturing was a gritty operation when I started in 2003, a 50-man shop with manual lathes and a single CNC machine. I built the production systems from the ground up, introducing automation gradually while keeping human oversight. We grew to supply 30% of Midland's components, with 0 recalls in a decade. When the original owner retired 5 years ago, a private equity firm took over, demanding higher margins. They hired Tyler 8 months ago to modernize, and he was obsessed with Cybertech's robots, claiming they'd cut costs by 40%. The warning signs came early. Tyler rejected my proposal for hybrid automation, robots for repetitive tasks, humans for quality control. "Too slow," he said. He brought in Cybertech coders, barely out of college, who didn't understand tolerances. They shadowed my team, asking basic questions about servo calibration. I answered, but I noticed the robot's software skipped error checks I'd insisted on for years. During a trial, I flagged misaligned parts, but Tyler dismissed it. "Minor bugs," he said. "We'll patch post-demo." A week before my firing, Tyler stopped by the line. "Midland's demo is make or break," he said. "These robots will seal a 5-year contract." I should have seen the axe falling, but I was too busy fixing a servo the robots had botched. The first call came 4 days after I was fired. I was polishing my resume when my phone rang. Tyler's name flashed. I let it go to voicemail. "Robert, it's Tyler. We're seeing inconsistencies in the robotic line. Could you consult for a day? $250 an hour?" I deleted it. Hours later, Jamal texted, "Robots are spitting out bad parts. Tyler's losing it. Demos in 6 days." That night, I fired up my old work laptop where I'd saved maintenance logs and trial reports. I wasn't supposed to keep them, but old habits die hard. The reports confirmed my suspicions. The robot's software, Cybertech's proprietary Optiflow, ignored secondary tolerances to boost speed. Failed parts spiked 15% in stress tests, but Tyler buried the data. I also found an email I'd sent Tyler warning about Cybertech's history of pushing upgrades after failures. He'd replied, "Noted, but we're committed." Ellen caught me at 2 a.m., hunched over the laptop. "You're not letting this go," she said. "They're walking into a trap," I replied. "Cybertech's playing them." I needed more than logs. I called Linda, still at Apex, too close to retirement to quit. "Can you get me the latest software patch?" I asked. She hesitated. "That's risky, Rob, but I'll try." She also mentioned Tyler was rushing the demo to impress investors. The next morning, I got an email from Precision Dynamics, a smaller competitor supplying automotive parts. Their CTO, Carl Evans, wrote, "Robert, heard about Apex. Your reputation precedes you. Interested in a lead engineer?" 2 days later, Tyler showed up at my house, his BMW dusted with snow. "Robert, we're in trouble," he said, shivering in his thin coat. "The robots are off-spec. Midland's demo is in 3 days. $600 an hour, 1 day. Name your price." I thought of my team, discarded for a rigged system. "I'm booked," I said. "Got an interview tomorrow." His eyes narrowed. "You're making a mistake. We'll blacklist you in this industry." I shut the door, my hand shaking, not from fear, but from the certainty I was right. The Precision meeting was a game changer. Carl, a grizzled engineer in his 60s, knew my work from Midland audits. "Your line's quality is unmatched," he said over diner coffee. "We're expanding, but we need someone who knows precision, not just robots. Lead our production." He offered a 20% raise and equity. "Why me?" I asked. Carl snorted. "We tried full automation. Crashed in a month. Humans catch what machines miss." I accepted, but my mind was on the demo. Jamal called that night. "Mike, it's bad. Robots are failing 20% of parts in final tests. Tyler's telling Midland it's fine." He'd kept a log of defects, which he sent me. I cross-referenced it with the patch and logs, confirming Cybertech's software was designed to fail post-warranty, forcing Apex to buy upgrades. I needed to expose it at the demo. Linda slipped me a guest pass as a vendor rep. Warning, Tyler's watching everyone. The demo was at Apex's plant, a cavernous space packed with Midland execs, investors, and Cybertech reps. I entered with my pass, clutching a tablet with my evidence. Linda met me near the line, whispering, "Tyler's pitching the robots as perfect. If they fail, he's toast." The floor hummed with Cybertech's robots, sleek but flawed. Tyler stood at a podium, grinning. "Our Optiflow system delivers 95% efficiency, cutting costs by 40%, he said. "Let's run a live test." Midland's COO, Diane Patel spoke up. Can it maintain tolerances under high-speed production? Tyler nodded, starting the line. The robot's whirred, producing gears. A screen showed 98% pass rate. Diane frowned. Run a stress test, double speed. The line accelerated, but the pass rate dropped to 85%. Parts clattered, misaligned. Murmurs spread. Tyler stammered. Just a calibration issue. I stepped forward. May I inspect a part? Tyler's face paled. This is restricted. He snapped. Diane intervened. Let him. I want answers. I picked a gear, scanning it with a handheld gauge from my box. Out of tolerance by 0.02 millimeters, I said, projecting my tablet. Here's a log of 300 failed parts from your trials, hidden by management. The software's rigged to mask errors until after warranty. I showed the patch code, highlighting deliberate skips in error checks. Diane's eyes narrowed. Tyler, explain this. He sputtered. That's inaccurate. I continued. Cybertech's known for this. Their software fails post-demo, forcing upgrades. A Cybertech rep bolted for the door, but security stopped him. Diane turned to Tyler. We're done here. The room erupted as investors demanded answers. I slipped out. My job done. That night, Carl called from Precision. Midland's talking to us, he said. They're impressed with your exposé. Can you start Monday? I agreed. A weightlifting. Apex's board fired Tyler 3 days later, after Midland canceled their contract. Linda texted, they're begging for consultants. Jamal's joining Precision. I didn't reply, focused on sketching Precision's new line. Robots and humans, balanced right. A year later, I stood in Precision's expanded plant, managing a 30-person team. Midland signed a 3-year deal, praising our quality. I trained every technician, documenting every process, ensuring no rigged software could ruin us. Carl promoted me to VP of Operations with a view of Detroit's skyline. One day, I got a LinkedIn message from Tyler, now at a failing startup. Robert, any roles at Precision? I misjudged things. I didn't respond. Some lessons are learned the hard way. Driving home, Danny's grad school acceptance on the dash, I thought about value, of experience, of building things to last. I hadn't sought revenge. I'd built better and let failure teach the rest. That was enough.